Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Rachel. If you're new here, hi, welcome. I film about book reviews, movie reviews, history documentaries, legal matters and other related stuff. In this video, I shall be reviewing Becoming. It's a very unique book. You can call it a memoir if you want. It's actually a memoir. So, without further ado, let's dive right into the video. Welcome back, guys. Now, Becoming is authored by Michelle Obama. The Michelle Obama, and I'm sure you know her, okay? It's authored by Michelle Obama. The book is an autobiography. It is written in a first-person point of view, as it should be. Typical autobiographies are written in first-person point of view. I mean, that's the whole point. The person who experienced the story shares her life and times with you, or his life and times with you, as the case may be. The book is basically about the story of her life as it is so far. Okay, her life has not ended. She's still here. She ain't going nowhere yet. Okay, the book is basically the story of her life, okay, so far, from childhood until a little after Obama finished his tenure as POTUS. What do I mean by POTUS? POTUS is simply an acronym for President of the United States, okay? And I'll be using that term, POTUS and FOTUS, all through this video. Just know, wherever you hear me say POTUS, it means President of the United States of America. Wherever you hear FOTUS, just FLOTUS. Just know I'm referring to First Lady of the United States of America, so I don't choke from talking too much and saying long statements. Okay, you guys, this book is a very personal read. I hope that makes sense. I was trying to say it's an interesting read, but I said no, let me just call it a personal read. I used the word personal in place of interesting because Michelle Obama was open. She did not leave us guessing. I mean, she was so detailed, from how she met Barack Obama, from their argument about a wedding and IVF procedure and everything. Okay, Michelle Obama was very honest in this book. She was down flat honest. She was open. I don't know what it is with Americans and honesty. I mean, Americans and honesty, I mean, most Americans and honesty, they're like bread and butter. They just have this obsession with honesty. That's a good thing though. Fun fact, guys, the author of this book happens to be my role model. I am telling you, the first time I ever heard about Michelle Obama or saw her picture somewhere, I was a teenager. I actually saw it in a newspaper, and the moment I just set my eyes on her, I just knew that this lady has a lot to offer. And since then, I've been following her. I love watching her speech and her commencement address. I just love watching shows where she's invited and all that. So even before she wrote this book, I had been a big admirer, and I was really expecting a lot from the book. I was expecting to have a good time while reading the book. You know, one thing about me is when I'm reading a book, it's just like the feeling you get when you're seeing a really nice movie. You make exclamations. It's just like you're discussing with the author. After all, the author is telling you a story. Okay, so I was expecting a lot, and I was not disappointed. I was not disappointed. Okay, in fact, after reading this book, my rating of her moved from here to like there. Interesting read, personal read. Now this book is divided into 3 parts: Becoming Me, Becoming Us, Becoming More. Okay, it's okay. Of course, the memoir is like a normal book divided into chapters. Okay, chapters. The book is kind of bulky. Spoiler alert, the book is kind of bulky, but it's divided into certain parts. We have Becoming Me, Becoming Us, Becoming More. Okay, Becoming Me, the first part, takes us through her childhood, the number of people in her immediate family, which includes her dad, her mom, the kind of job her dad was doing, her mom, the kind of job she did, her brother Craig, her grand aunt, her uncles, her cousins. She has quite a large family. Okay, in the part called Becoming Me, she lets us know that she came from a humble background. She came from the south side of Chicago, okay, and she lets us know that, okay, from the earliest part of her childhood, they had white people in their neighborhood, okay, and as time went on, there was this mass exodus of white people from their environment, and she even had to share the photograph of her in her school with her classmates when she was in kindergarten. We saw white kids in the photograph, but by the time she got to a higher level, you know, the white kids were no longer there. She gives us a background. She lets us know her background in this part of the book. She revealed the fact that her father, Fraser Robinson, was a good man. She didn't experience any form of abuse or anything. Her mother and her father were present, okay? Unlike the typical African American family. She also talked about her mother, who was not so educated but ensured that they spoke proper English and that they used words properly. And at a point, a girl referred to her on the playground, "You sound like a white person." Okay, that was the result of the training she got at home. And she talked about her brother Craig, who was very, very, very protective of her. Becoming Us is the next part of the book, the second part of the book. And this part of the book takes us on the journey through the period of time she became a lawyer. Yes, she actually went to Harvard, okay, and she became a lawyer. You know, she takes us through her first job as an associate in a really, really, really big law firm in Chicago. This part of the book reveals how she met Barack Obama, how they started dating, how he went into politics, and her little struggle with childbirth, IVF procedure, motherhood, all those stuff. Becoming More is the last part of the book. This book simply reveals to us the part where Barack finally became the president of the United States and they moved into the Capitol and live in the White House, secret agents everywhere. In this part of the book, she expressed her worries about her children. I mean, they were taken into the White House at a very young age. Both of her kids were under 10 when Barack became POTUS, okay? And she had this fear. She wanted her children to be normal like every other child, and she had that worry. This part of the book just lets us in on her thoughts. And you guys, in this book, Michelle Obama mentioned so many profound things that I would like to share with you guys, okay? Some of these things they seem little, but they're very, very important. In this book, she mentioned the fact that while growing up, they didn't have a lot. In fact, she went to school on loan. This American educational system where you can, as a citizen of America, you can go to school on loan, and then when you get a job, you start paying bit by bit. She actually went to school on loan. She was even working as a student at Princeton, but that's not my point. She mentioned the fact that her mother ensured that she included greens in their food. She ensured that she included things like protein, and she told them the importance of like eating right. And in the future, this would later contribute to the marvelous thing she did on child obesity as the First Lady of the United States. That's well, guys. Another profound thing she mentioned in this book is that while growing up, especially when they were teenagers, she and her brother Craig, that her parents were not controlling. Our parents were not controlling, okay? She mentioned the fact that, for instance, if a younger brother, our elder brother rather, Craig, said, Mom, I have a date with a girl and something like that, the mom would be like, okay, I expect you to come back home at the right time. The parents wouldn't even like try to be controlling. They expected them to differentiate between right and wrong. And Michelle, concerning this thing I'm talking about, said something. She said at a point, her mother said to her, we're not raising babies, we're raising adults. Wonderful parenting skill right there. Another profound thing she mentioned, she said that it is important that parents speak positivity and words of affirmation to their children. It helps them in their confidence, it helps them later in life in their achievements and all that and all. She mentioned the fact that a good education with hard work goes a long way in shaping one's destiny. I doubt if that's the same in Nigeria. She mentioned the fact that Barack Obama wouldn't have run for the office of the President of the United States if she had not given her go ahead, as his wife, as his other half. Barack was that loving. She stated in the book that she will never run for office. So if you have fantasies of Michelle Obama running for office sometime in the future, snap out. Snap out. She said it plain that she is not going to run for office of the President of the United States, that she's not big on politics. She just found herself supporting her husband, a role she didn't ask for. Sorry. You guys, she said so many profound things. Now, the setting of this book is vast. You guys, I think it's about to rain. There's no more sun and the video is going to be looking dark. Just bear with me. There is no light. Just bear with me. So she mentioned the fact that the setting of this book is vast. Ooh, it's vast. The major setting is around Chicago, the South Side, Euclid Avenue, where her family home was located, where she actually grew up. Of course, Washington, D.C., Illinois, London, South Africa, China. The setting of the book is vast. And let me not forget Hawaii, where Obama was brought up. Now, you guys, something struck me in this book. It struck me as culture shock. Ooh. At a point in her life, Michelle, she was living with her parents, okay? After she had graduated from Harvard and she had gotten a job, she was still living with her parents. It was a story building. So her parents just left the entire top floor to her, and they decided to just have the ground floor. That's not a culture shock, guys. I'm coming. At a point when her relationship with Barack Obama was already established, okay, fine, they were dating and her family knew him, his family knew her, okay. Do you know that at a point, Barack moved in to the apartment? So our parents were downstairs, Barack was upstairs with Michelle. So that seems to me as a culture shock. Never will it happen in Africa that the man you're betrothed to would be allowed to live in the same compound with your parents, the parents of the girl child. That's culture shock to me, guys. Another exciting thing I experienced while reading this book is that I saw things I couldn't relate to. For instance, the kind of food she was mentioning. Okay, she mentioned something like pot toast. I don't know what that is. She mentioned Brussels. I don't know what that is, okay? And that's the beauty of literature. You travel into the mind and into the culture of the author. And this kind it reminds me of Chimamanda Adichie's work, and I like the fact that Chimamanda is deliberate about the Igbo language. I was reading a book by Chimamanda Adichie. I cannot remember either it's Americana or Popular Hibiscus, where she mentioned ube. So then in my mind I was like, why didn't she just use the English word of ube? But when probably an American or a European is reading Chimamanda's book and they say, what would they start browsing, and they know that there is a lot to us Africans that meets the eye. The same thing when I was reading her book. I was like, what's pop toast and Brussels? And I saw myself browsing about American food. Okay, that's just the beauty of literature, and I enjoyed the whole experience, guys. So, guys, let's take a sneak peek into this book. It hurts to live after someone has died. It just does. It can hurt to walk down a hallway or open the fridge. It hurts to put on a pair of socks, to brush your teeth. Food tastes like nothing. Colors go flat. Music hurts, and so do memories. You look at something you'd otherwise find beautiful, a purple sky at sunset, or a playground full of kids, and it only somehow deepens the loss. Grief is so lonely this way. The day after my father died, we drove to a South Side funeral parlor, me, my mother, and Craig, to pick out a casket and plan a service, to make arrangements, as they say in funeral parlors. I don't remember much about our visit there except for how stunned we were, each of us bricked inside our private grief, still as we went through the obscene ritual of shopping for the right box in which to bury our dad. Craig and I managed to have our first and only fight as adult siblings. It boiled down to this. I wanted to buy the fanciest, most expensive casket in the place, complete with every extra handle and cushion a casket could possibly have. I had no particular rationale for wanting this. It was something to do when there was nothing else to do. The practical, pragmatic part of our upbringing wouldn't allow me to put much stock in the gentle, well-intentioned platitudes people would heap on us a few days later at the funeral. I couldn't be easily comforted by the suggestions that my dad had gone to a better place or was sitting with angels. As I saw it, he just deserves a nice casket. Craig, meanwhile, insisted that dad would want something basic, modest and practical, and nothing more. It suited our dad's personality, he said. Anything else would be too showy. We started quiet, and our mother just stared at us implacably through the fog of her own pain. We were yelling for reasons that had nothing to do with the actual argument. Neither of us was invested in the outcome. In the end, we'd bury our dad in a compromise casket. Nothing too fancy, nothing too plain, and never once discuss it again. We were having an absurd, inappropriate argument because in the wake of death, every single thing on earth feels absurd and inappropriate. Later, we drove mom back to Euclid Avenue. The three of us sat downstairs at the kitchen table, spent and sullen now, our misery provoked all over again by the sight of the first empty chair. Soon, we were weeping. We sat for what felt like a long time, blubbering until we were exhausted and out of tears. My mother, who hadn't said much all day, finally offered a comment. "Look at us," she said, a little ruefully. And yet, there was such of lightness in how she said it. She was pointing out that we Robinsons had been reduced to a true and ridiculous mess, unrecognizable with our swollen eyelids and dripping noses, our hurt and strange helplessness here in our own kitchen. Who were we? Didn't we know? Hadn't he shown us? She was calling us back from our loneliness with three blunt words, as only our mom could do. Mom looked at me, and I looked at Craig, and suddenly the moment seemed a little funny. The first chuckle we knew would normally have come from that empty chair. Slowly, we started to teeter and crack up, collapsing finally into full-blown fits of laughter. I realized that might seem strange, but we were so much better at this than we were at crying. The point was he would have liked it, and so we let ourselves laugh. See, you guys, this book is nothing short of inspirational. I love the fact that when it came to Obama's career, that's his political career, and when it came to Michelle's role as the potential first lady of the United States, during the time Barack was about to announce his interest in running for the office of POTUS, she paid attention to little things. For instance, Barack was to announce his intentions to run for office in a city called Springfield in Illinois. Okay, so Michelle, her problem was not the reaction of the crowd and everything. Her problem was the fact that the weather was very, very cold. It was freezing, and she had to go shopping. She got cap that would keep her daughters warm. She got gloves for herself and her daughters. She even told the organizers if they could, place a heater somewhere on the stage so that Barack wouldn't appear too uncomfortable. Little things that matter. I would share a picture of it on this video. You would actually see for yourselves the gloves and the cap that her children had on. And you guys, I'm talking about my personal view about this book right now, okay? I do not think that she was too open. I mean, what's the point of writing an autobiography? What's the point of writing a memoir if you would not be too open? I mean, that's the point. So let us know the story of your life. Okay, I like the fact that I don't think she was too open. That was the proper thing to do. I like the fact that she revealed that she gave birth to her two beautiful children through IVF procedure. And in an interview, when she was asked, in fact, Oprah Winfrey asked her, why did you actually reveal the fact that you had your children through IVF? I mean, some people, women are like, you shouldn't have, mentioned that part, it was too private. She said no, that lots of women, especially black women, are going through this problem of infertility and they just don't want to talk about it. And solution actually starts when you start talking about your problems, okay? That she had to just talk about it. Early on, I stated that the book is written in a first person point of view. Now, one thing I love about this book is that at a point in the book, she switched to second person point of view. Now guys, for those who do not get it, first person point of view is an imaginary person is narrating the story to you. First person point of view goes this way. My name is this, I am this, I did this, I did that, this happened to me. That's first person point of view. Second person point of view, you are this, you are that, you are that, you should do this, that's second person point of view. Third person point of view, she did this, she did that. Fiction is usually written in third person point of view. Now, Michelle wrote this book in first person point of view, and at a point she switched to second person point of view, and I think that's deliberate. The part where she got a job and she was trying to narrate the fact that she was now a big girl, she now had a car, a Saab. A Saab refers to a fancy car. She had an office and an assistant. She now switched to second person point of view, and I think she did that to encourage and inspire the reader, in case the reader is young, okay, in case the reader is a young lady aspiring to be like Michelle or even better. I hope I'm making sense, guys. Okay, let me read out that particular passage to you. Now, this is Michelle switching to second person point of view when she was talking about the fact that she got a nice job after graduating from Harvard. What happens next is that the rewards get real. You reach for the next rung of the ladder, and this time it's a job with a salary in the Chicago offices of a high-end law firm called Sidley and Austin. You're back where you started, in the city where you were born. Only now, you go to work on the 47th floor in a downtown building with a wide plaza and a sculpture out front. You used to pass by it as a South Side kid, riding the bus to high school, peering mutely out the window at the people who strode like titans to their jobs. Now, You're one of them. You've walked yourself out of that bus and across the plaza and onto an upward moving elevator, so silent it seems to glide. You've joined the tribe. At the age of 25, you have an assistant. You make more money than your parents ever have. Your co-workers are polite, educated, and mostly white. You wear an harmonized suit and sign up for a subscription wine service. You make monthly payments on your law school loans and go to step aerobics after work because you can. You buy yourself a Saab. Saab refers to a fancy car. Is there anything to question? It doesn't seem that way. You're a lawyer now. You've taken everything ever given to you, the love of your parents, the faith of your teachers, the music from Southside and Robbie, the meals from Aunt Sis, the vocabulary words drilled into you by Dandy, and converted it to this. You've climbed the mountain, and part of your job, aside from parsing abstract intellectual property issues for big corporations, is to help cultivate the next set of young lawyers being courted by the firm. A senior partner asks if you mentor an incoming summer associate, and the answer is easy. Of course you will. Blah, blah, blah. So guys, I hope you get the gist. That is an excellent writing technique right there. That's why I love autobiography. So you guys, we've come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, kindly give it a thumbs up, share, and do not forget to subscribe if you have subscribed. Kindly click on the notification bell below to get you notified of my videos whenever I upload them. See you in my next video.